So when I first got into this whole self-improvement discipline space about 2-3 years ago, the only sport I actually did was weightlifting. And this is a great thing to get into self-improvement. But after a while, I realized something interesting, and you may be able to relate. See, the first couple months, my discipline actually skyrocketed because I was so far out of my comfort zone, and it is quite intense. But after a while, I wasn't really using discipline anymore. I just went to the gym because it was a habit of mine. I was no longer outside of my comfort zone. And this continued for a while, but actually the beginning of this year, I started working as a trainer in this new gym. And this was kind of like a CrossFit style training gym. We did a lot of competitions there, which basically incorporates these cardio intervals with a bit of strength training as well. And this took me so far out of my comfort zone. Me thinking that I was a very fit and healthy and disciplined individual was almost so close to giving up because it was a very competitive environment. See, weightlifting is absolutely great. But if you only have to exert yourself for about 30 seconds and you can rest afterwards, it's not the same as knowing that you have to exert yourself for literally 45 minutes. Because some people who do cardio, they already feel tired in the first 5, but they have to keep going for another 40. I really felt like this was a new level on top of all my athletic achievements and also in my self-improvement journey, of course. So if you find something that combines strength, cardio, and a bit of competitiveness, the same effect can be achieved. So this could be something like some CrossFit games, but I think martial arts is actually a great way to start. See, I've dabbled in a couple striking martial arts for the last 4 years, but I only got consistently into Muay Thai a couple months ago. And sparring in Muay Thai, boxing or kickboxing, so basically just simulating a fight, is something that requires a lot of discipline. So you're getting hit in the face repeatedly, but you still have to stay calm, focused, and hit back. It's painful, it's exhausting, and it's very competitive as well. So the perfect environment for you to work hard, but not give up. So I have this friend group that I used to go to school with. They're actually the only people that I'm still friends with, that I used to go to school with, because, well, most people that I hang out with, they only want to hang out to drink. And since that's something I'm no longer a fan of, I decided to ditch most of them. But not this group. This group was different because we actually did so much outside of drinking. Things like hiking or going on camping trips were actually one of them. See, these outdoor survival type things, they got me out of my comfort zone so much. I was never the kind of guy that liked going on long hikes or going camping. But after my friend suggested it and I went along with it, it was actually amazing. And I had this realization. See, a lot of people in history, they seemed so much more disciplined and had so much more higher testosterone than us. And I think part of the reason for that is that they didn't have the same luxuries. Being out in the open, having to care for yourself, not having all these luxuries like having a dishwasher, having warm water, having clean water. So while taking me out of my comfort zone immensely, developing my discipline and developing very valuable new skills, it also made me so much more grateful. And I can only recommend the same thing for you guys.
As you may or may not know, I'm actually a trader. And when I started trading, it was very, very hard to get started with it. It's not just that you need a certain strategy and then you just keep repeating that. No, it's actually a lot about your psychology as well, right? You have to follow the exact rules from this strategy. If you don't, then you will lose money. And it can be hard because it's not just profit after profit, right? You will take some losses. That's just what trading is. So after a while, I actually started adopting this mentality to the rest of my life. Whenever I take an action, I ask myself, does this align with my values? Or does it actually help me with the stuff that I'm currently trying to achieve? If the answer is yes, well, then it's a good action. If the answer is no, it's a very bad action and it should not be taken. I know that trading is not for everyone, but the skill of thinking like this can be learned by anyone. It's a lot easier if you learn a skill that forces you to start thinking this exact strict pattern thinking. This could be anything like coding, where you have to follow some exact rules, or martial arts, where every single movement has to be executed perfectly. You basically have to teach yourself to become your own daddy.